Hello, grade twos. It's me, Teacher Shelter, and today we are going to start a new lesson. So, yesterday, or on Tuesday, we learned about making questions with do and does. So, we learned like does an ant eat seeds? And we will say, yes, it does. Or we would say, do ants eat seeds? And we'll say, yes, they do. Okay, so we learned how to make a question using do and does. All right, we also learned the rules. Now, we are going to take everything that we learned in the first lesson and we are going to use it to help us for this lesson, for this next lesson. Okay, so I hope you listened in the first lesson. If you don't know what we did in the first lesson, you must watch that video first, and then this lesson will be very easy for you. Okay, grade twos, are you ready to learn? All right, let's learn. All right, so today we are going to do WH questions with do and does. Now that sounds very complicated. That sounds very difficult. You must say, oh, Teacher Shelter, what is this? And WH questions with do and does. Now we learned how to make questions with do and we learned how to make questions with does. Okay, and now Teacher Shelter today will teach you how to make WH questions. Now, don't worry, I will teach you what this means. Okay, don't be scared. All right, so let's quickly look. What do we already know about making questions with does and do? All right, so we're quickly going to review what we did yesterday or in the last lesson. Okay, so making questions with does. Now, how do we make questions with does? All right, we should know that when we use does, we are only talking about one thing. So we start with does, and then we say an ant or a spider or a cricket. Okay, so we start with something like this. Remember, it's a question, all right? So we must always have our question mark. Now, after we say does and the one thing, then we should have the verb. All right, so does an ant play? Does an ant eat? Does an ant swim? Does an ant throw? Does an ant catch? All right, so then we should have the verb. And then after that, we should finish the question by asking what we want to know. Okay, if I want to know if an ant plays basketball, then I say, does an ant play basketball? If I want to know if the ant plays the piano, then I will say, does an ant play the piano? Okay, I want to know, does an ant play football? Do you think an ant plays football? No, I don't think so. All right, so let's practice quickly. All right, so there's only one, so we say does. Now, what is it? An ant. Very good. What is the verb that comes next? Good job. Eat. And what is this? Seeds. Okay, so this is what I want to know. Does an ant eat seeds? Everybody read the question now. 3, 2, 1. Very good. And now we can answer. Yes, it does. Okay, let's go to another one. Now we see here only one B, so we use does. And now what is this? Good job. What is the verb? Make. And what do we see over here? Honey. Does a bee make honey? Now you say the question. Remember, when we are asking questions, we should go higher at the end. Does a bee make honey? Okay. And let's answer it together. Yes, it does. Okay, so now, what about making questions with do? It's very similar, only one difference. When we use do, we are talking about more than one thing. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 100. Okay, so when we use do, we are talking about more than one thing. Okay, so we start with do, and then we say the thing, like do spiders, do ants, do lions, do people, do cars, do tables. All right, so it's more than one thing. Now, then we should add the verb, just like the last one. Do spiders eat? Do spiders play? Do spiders swim? Do spiders drink? Okay, and then we should finish by asking what we want to know. I want to know, do spiders eat insects? Question mark. Don't forget the question mark. Okay, and yes, they do. That's the answer. Yes, they do. Okay, so do spiders eat insects? Do spiders eat pizza? I don't think so. I don't think spiders eat pizza. Okay, so let's practice. Now, here, how many do you see? 2 crickets. So we got to use do. Do crickets. And just the verb jump, question mark. I want to know, do crickets jump? I don't have to say any more because this is what I want to know. Do crickets jump? And the answer is yes, they do. Okay, good job. Now let's practice again. How many do you see? 2 spiders. So we must use do. Now, spiders, verb, make, and what is this? A web. Do spiders make a web? And the answer is yes, they do. Okay, so now we remember what we learned yesterday or on Tuesday. Now we can quickly learn how to make WH questions. So now, all we are going to do is put a WH question word in front of the sentence. Now, you say to me, but teacher Shelto, what is a WH question word? You said it so many times already, and I don't know what it is. All right. Of course, teacher Shelto is going to teach you what a WH question word is. Now, it's very easy. You all know it. Okay. So here we can see all the different WH questions. Okay. So let's start with the first one. Who is a person? What is a thing or an action? When is a time? Where is a place? Why is the reason something happens, like why do ants walk? All right, they go to find food. And the last one is how. When we want to know a number, then we say how many. Or when we want to know how something is done, like how am I teaching you right now? I'm teaching you using a computer. Okay, so how can be a number, how many, or how can be like how do you do it? Like the way something is done. Okay, so that is what we mean by WH, 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 and H. Okay, so these are all WH question words. So let's go back and read again. So now all we are going to do is put a WH question word in front of the sentence. Okay, so let's have a look. Now, let's read the top here. I want to know what an ant eats. So, what do you think my WH question word will be? So I have who, where, when, how, why, and what. Okay, so what do you think will be here? Of course, what? Now, I only see one ant, so do I say do or does? Only one, so I say does. And then what do I see here? An ant, and I finish with my verb. What does an ant eat? And now we have made a question with a WH word. Okay, so not very difficult, hey? So what does an ant eat? We should know it eats seeds. All right, remember when we answer and we use it or an ant or a spider, the verb must have the S. Remember, students, when we make the question, when the verb is in the question, we don't have an S. But when we answer, if there's only one, like it or an ant or a spider, then we add S or ES to the verb. Okay, so it eats seeds. If it was ants, then we would not have S. We would just say ants eat seeds. But because it's only an ant, we say an ant eats seeds or it eats seeds. Okay, so now I want to know how an ant eats. I want to know how does it eat. Teacher Shelter uses chopsticks and then I put it up and I eat with my mouth. All right, so I want to know how does an ant eat. So what question do you think I should ask here? What WH question word do you think I should ask? Yes, very good. How, of course. Now, one ant means we must use does. An ant and eat with the question mark. All right. Now, how does an ant eat? If you don't know, Teacher Shelter will show you. An ant eats with its mouth, just like me and you. Okay, an ant has a little mouth and it eats with its mouth. All right. So now I want to change it a little bit and I want to see how smart you are. So look at the answer and tell me what the question should be. So a long time ago, do you remember when you first met Teacher Shelto? I had all these answers and I said, please raise your hand and you give me the question. So maybe the answer was South Africa. And you said, Teacher Shelto. And I said, yes. You said, where are you from? And I said, wow, well done. I'm from South Africa. Okay, so I will show you the answer and you give me the question. So let's look here. A bee lives in a hive. This is a hive over here. So that is the bee's house. It's a hive. Now we know that a house is a place. So when there is a place, we use where. Yeah, very good. So where. Now a bee, so we must use does. A bee, and the question is, where does a bee live? A bee lives, remember, here is the verb. When we ask the question, no S. When we don't have the question, when we give the answer and it's only one, we have S to the verb. We add S or ES to the verb. Okay, very good. Now, look at the answer and tell me what the question should be. Now, be careful here, okay? Crickets. Crickets. So do you think I'm going to use do or does? Very good. We are going to use do. So let's read it again. Crickets jump by using their strong back legs. All right, they jump by using their strong back legs. Now, they are telling us how crickets jump. So what do you think the question should be? Do you think it should be what? Do crickets jump? No. Do you think it should be where do crickets jump? No. Then the answer would be crickets jump in the grass. Do you think it should be, let's see, when do crickets jump? Then no, it would be crickets jump all day. But it says crickets jump by using their strong back legs. Okay, so it must be how. How do crickets jump? Okay, how? Remember two crickets, so we use do, crickets, the verb with the question mark. Okay, good job, everyone. Now, let's look at this one. Now, look at the answer and tell me what the question should be. Spiders make webs to live on. Spiders make webs to live on. Spiders, spiders. So we are going to use the word do and the verb is make. So do spiders make? So do you think it's where do spiders make? Do you think it's how do spiders make? No. All right. The question or the answer is what do spiders make? Okay, good job, grade twos. We are doing very, very well. Okay, if you are not sure, you can always watch the video again. If you still do not know, you can ask the co-teacher, okay? Now, this one is a little bit more difficult, but I don't think for you. I think you are very smart, so we should be able to do it. Now, look at the answer. Spiders have 8 legs. Now, 8 legs means there is a number. And when we want to know a number, we should ask, if you want to know how many pens Teacher Shelter has got, what would you ask me? What would you ask Teacher Shelter? You would say, Teacher Shelter, how many pens have you got? All right, so there we go. We need to add in many and what. Many, what do we want to know? Okay, so we should know that we say how. Now, many legs. Spiders. So we say do spiders have with the question mark. How many legs do spiders have? And the answer is spiders have 8 legs. Okay, so we should know that question because Teacher Shelter asks you all the time, how many legs do insects have? How many legs do spiders have? How many legs do people have? Okay, so let's see. Let's open our learner's book to page 82. If you don't have your learner's book, you can use the page that we asked you to print. If you don't have that page, you can just use the video to help you. Okay, so press pause, open your book, press play. Okay, let's go. So they say, ask and answer. Read the information about bees, then read the question. What is the answer? So let's read together. Bees are helpful insects. They make honey. People like eating honey. Okay, so the question, how do bees help people? So how do bees help people? And of course, it's because bees are helpful because they make honey. So that is the answer. Okay, you can underline it in your book or you can underline it on your piece of paper. All right, let's go to silkworms. Silkworms. Wow, that's a new word. Silkworms. It's a little insect, a little bug like this. It's a bug. It's not, yeah, it's a bug that makes silk. Okay, so silkworms, so more than one, silkworms are helpful insects. They make silk. Remember, silk is like clothes. People use silk to make beautiful clothes. Now, we need to make the question. How silkworms, so we should say do, because it's more than one. How do silkworms and the verb help people? How do silkworms help people? And silkworms are helpful insects because they make silk. Okay, good job, everyone. Let's go to crickets. Now, this is very interesting. A cricket hasn't got ears. It hears, like listens, it hears sounds through special spots on its leg. Okay, it hears sounds through special spots on its legs. Okay, so the question, how does a cricket, now does a cricket hear? We need the verb, of course. Hear. Here's the verb. Now the answer, how does a cricket hear? And it hears sound through special spots on its legs. We have the answer there already. Okay, good job, grade 2s. Very good. All right. Now, a butterfly hasn't got a mouth. Whoa, that's interesting. It tastes food with its feet. Wow, it tastes food with its feet. Ooh, imagine you when you want to taste pizza, you have to put your foot on the pizza. Eee. Okay, I don't think that's very cool. All right, so now we need to make the question, how does, so only one, then we put the thing, remember? How does, now the thing, a butterfly, yes, and now the verb. What is the verb? Taste. Very good. How does a butterfly taste? You should be writing the answers. All right. It tastes with its feet. It tastes food with its feet. Okay. Very good, grade 2s. All right. Now, the next thing is it's quite a lot of work, but it's very good for you to do it. Okay. Teacher Shelto is going to ask you to write questions. You need to look at ants on page 78 in your learner's book and look at spiders on page 79 of your learner's book. You will write 6 questions starting with these questions. Does, what does, how many, do, what do, how many. Okay, so you will read ants again, and you will read spiders again, and you will make 6 questions that Teacher Shelto has given to your parents to give to you. You will have this worksheet and you will write 6 questions. Now you will write the question with the question mark and then you try to answer. Okay, so you read page 78 and page 79, make 6 questions, 3 about ants and 3 about spiders. Okay, you can do that when the video is finished. For now, I want you to listen and learn. Okay, listen and learn. We are going to do our activity book, page 71. All right, so take out your activity book now, page 71. Open it. All right, I will count down from 10, 9, 8. If you need more time, press pause. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job, everyone. Now, look at the questions and answers. So now we are going to look at the answers, okay? And that will help us to make the questions. Parts of each question is missing. The ants are carrying the missing words, okay? Right? Here are the missing words. The ants are carrying the missing words. All right, write the correct words in the spaces. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Here is the answer. Crickets eat leaves, fruit, and tiny insects. So I should know that if they say crickets, it should be do crickets eat? Okay, and these are all things, leaves, fruit, tiny insects, they're all things. So we need to use what? So what do, because the S here, crickets eat. Okay, let's look at the next one. A cricket sings, a cricket. So we know it should be does a cricket. Now, sings by rubbing its wings together. So they are telling us how the cricket sings. So we should say, how does a cricket sing? Okay, we know it should be does when we see a cricket. So we can already write that. Now we just need to find the WH, and when we see how it does it, we just say how. Teacher Shelter will do one more with you, and then you will do the next one. Okay, a bee has 4 wings. A bee has 4 wings. So we know with a bee, it will be does, because it's only one. Now, when we want to find a number, we say how many. So, how many wings does a bee have? A bee has 4 wings. So I want you to do number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Okay, you can do it. All right, grade 2s. I think that is all we're going to learn today. You have a lot of work to do. Finish your activity book, and please finish the worksheet that Teacher Shelter gave you. Okay. I will quickly stop share. Okay, grade 2s, there we go. Very good lesson. I hope that you all learned something very interesting today. And please ask your mom or your dad to help you if you do not understand. They can ask the co-teacher to help you, and the co-teacher can ask Teacher Shelter. And Teacher Shelter can make a video just for you to learn. Okay. Goodbye, grade 2s. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye, everyone.